I'm David Richards, owner and manager here at Croydon Cycleworks. I want to talk to you about what I believe is one of the most exciting bikes on the planet. The Cervélo S5. Now, I'm not going to talk models and group sets and all that sort of thing. I'm just going to talk about the S5 as a family. The S5 has always been at the top end of the fast bikes in the pro peloton. It's pure speed and it redefines what fast is. Join me while I talk about the bike that is going to deliver you speed, efficiency, and some cutting edge aerodynamics. Cervélo S5. It's always been the benchmark when it comes to aerodynamic bikes in the pro peloton. And the 2026 model that I have here, well, that takes it another step further. Cervélo have worked hand in hand with pro athletes at Visma Lease bike, both in the men's and the women's team, to deliver what they believe is just an incredibly fast bike. So let's talk about what the project was. 3 years it takes to bring one of these to the market, give or take. The brief that the Cervélo team got was, we want you to make the Cervélo S5 faster, but don't f it up. So what did they deliver? They delivered a bike that is faster than the previous S5. When you're already the fastest and you are really looking for those fractions of a percentage that are the difference between standing on the top step and being forgotten, well, it's a massive difference. They've also reduced the weight overall of this bike as a system by 124 grams. 124 grams, again, you say it's not much, but it is. It can be the difference between winning and losing. Me personally, I've raced S5 and I absolutely loved it. I don't win many races, but I won a couple on an S5. What I am not here to talk about is a bunch of aerodynamic principles and aero tests by different testing houses and so forth. That's a conversation over a soy latte at another time. What I'm here to talk to you about the bike that is defined as pure speed. I want to talk to you about 6 key points about the Cervélo S5. First, doesn't matter what anyone says, aero is everything. You think about saving an extra 6+ watts, well, that's essentially 6+ watts of free speed. Just imagine turning up and just adding an extra 6 watts to your FTP, or being able to draw bigger watts out of your max sprint because you've got less drag. And that's why aero is everything. Couple of things about this that create less drag. These new bars, they use Cervélo's +4 principle, where the hoods are effectively 2 centimeters on each side, so 4 centimeters inside the drops. It allows a rider to assume a more aerodynamic posture when on the bike. Additionally, UCI's made a bunch of changes, some good, some bad. We all recognise that, but one of them is that it has allowed for greater ratios of fork depth to breadth. Here, you'll notice these two stand out straight away. The fork and the head tube are much deeper, which allows for smoother airflow over the front of the bike, and that creates less turbulence. It's turbulence which does the most destructive force to you being able to drive the bike forward. They've added more material here, but they've still got the bike lighter, and that's something that is actually really significant. So the second out of the 6 points I want to talk to you about is about this cockpit. We've all seen the Y bars from the previous generation Cervélos in the S5. It's not just sleek, it's actually functional. Now, I spoke about the +4 principle before. For those who don't know, it was originally designed when we still had cable gears, and it was to get the cables out of the wind, but cables don't like turning 90 degrees. It was to create smoother cable management. But what they've actually found, and I'm going to get a geek alert, physics alert, this particular area here creates a Venturi effect. For those in the physics world, you'll know what I'm talking about, but effectively the air that travels through a tube actually travels through quicker. So therefore we have smoother, faster airflow, which enables you to go faster forward. And aside from that, this cockpit, when you are out of the saddle, you're sprinting, you're climbing, whatever, it feels razor sharp. It feels very comfortable, very responsive. The third out of our 6 is all around stiffness and power transfer. If your bike is not stiff, you can't actually deliver the power through the frame, to the drivetrain, to the road to propel you forward. As I mentioned earlier, there's extra material here in the head tube, extra material down here in the bottom bracket area, here at the seat tube, top tube junction, extra material here in those chainstays, all of which mean that the bike is going to be stiffer. So when you launch your sprint, power up a hill, all that stiffness enables your legs to transfer to the drivetrain to propel you forward. You're not losing anything. There's minimal power loss there. Then I'm going to go into my fourth point, which is these amazing wheels from Reserve. These wheels were designed by the Cervélo team while designing this bike. They're designed to work with this bike as a system. Little tweaks that they made and they tested with the wheels, they'd come back and they'd test and tweak the bike and vice versa until they got the best outcomes for the Cervélo S5. These wheels, they provide 3 watts on their own. Pretty damn quick. So much so that they actually put these wheels into most of the competitors' bikes and ran them through the wind tunnel, and each of the competitors' bikes were quicker. I spoke about stiffness and power transfer. So number 5 I'm going to talk about is rider comfort and control. Stiffness and aero, it doesn't have to mean a harsh ride. I've ridden aero bikes in the past that have been pretty much like riding a bucking bronco. Not in this case. They are still quite compliant. You would equally ride them beach road, smash out a crit, and then go and ride in the hills. One of the other things that in conjunction with Visma, they want the geos for the S5 and the R5 to be exactly the same, and that's what they are. This is why we get that element of R5 comfort into an S5. The addition of 30mm tyres on these means that you're going to get a more compliant, comfortable ride as well, with still being quick. Now the last point, and probably where the rubber does hit the road, it's proven by the pros. The guys and girls who are racing this bike have shown through results how fast they are on this bike. And they provide feedback to Cervélo, and Cervélo works with them in conjunction in this loop that provides, in my view, the best bikes in the pro peloton. So there you have it, the 2026 Cervélo S5. It's pure speed. It's engineered without compromise. Whether you are sprinting for bragging rights with your mates on your local loop, whether you're chasing your next podium, this is the bike that's going to give you the winning edge. So come on down for a chat, see it in person, feel the difference for yourself. We have them here at Croydon Cycleworks. The future of fast is absolutely here. It's the 2026 Cervélo S5.